Sophie Cunningham ain't having it. She's tired of hearing the BS, and she's letting the mother freaking know. Talk about some damn hoops. Because she's sick and tired of the BS that's going on with the national media and the WNBA, and I'm sick of it too. I've heard enough of these fools trying to pander to a community that's like 1% or less than 1% of the national population in the United States of America. Holy Lord. Even Donald Trump's getting in on the fray, joking about, if I want to ask LeBron James if he wants to be a woman, because I'm going to start my WNBA franchise and run it around him, and we'll crush everybody. The point he was making was, it sounds ridiculous to have a bunch of dudes play women in WNBA basketball. We all know it, but they want to keep the freaking song and dance pandering movement, Cheryl Reeve, Natalie Nakase, the inclusion bullcrap. Let the men come in and take your jobs. See what's up. And Sophie's had enough. And she told the media that today. When will you listen? She got a teammate who was named Player of the Week for the second straight week. Another teammate named Player of the Month. And then the coach was actually named Coach of the Month. Now, I don't know how that was possible, being that the Lynx won like 11 straight games or 10 straight games. But her entire team is getting award after award after award, and they're asking her about trannies. Freaking hell's going on here? Welcome back, everybody, in the NFL Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Show. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, leave your comments, man. I'm doing it raw today. Hey, what up? Let's go. Let's see what Sophie had to say. My goodness.
I think that there's so much good going on in the WNBA. I think that basketball is being played at the highest level it's ever been. I think our team in specific, we are breaking history right now with the amount of points that we're scoring on back-to-back games. I think the Minnesota game, there's just so much distraction. I think the WNBA media, all we ever do is cover everything except basketball. And it's like, what are we doing? There's so much. Like, you can talk about other things. I think those are great stories. I think it shows fans, who people are outside of the court. But I also think we got to keep the main thing. And I think when it comes to the Minnesota game, I think there is so much distraction. But, like, the matchup between Miles and Kelsey was phenomenal. Our team, that game in particular was a great game. And so I think that there's a lot to be said, and I'm going to let people just do the speaking for themselves. But for me, I want to get back to basketball. It's always been about basketball. That interview happened in February when I was asked a question. And so for me, I just want to, make sure that it stays, the focus stays where it should, because people are playing at such a high level. We have probably like 3 MVPs that could be MVPs on our team specifically. And so that's why I want to do that.
So there you have it. That's Sophie Cunningham right there telling you, let's talk about some ball. Man, we averaging 97 points a game. We put up over 100 how many times this year? 15 times this year, whatever. 14, 15 times. And you're sitting here worried about what I said in February about transgendered females playing against real women in the WNBA and in sports. That's what you're still talking about. Because you got nothing else to talk about. That's really what it comes down to at this point. And the reality is, that's the reality. If it's not drama filled, the product in the WNBA does not substantiate people watching it. It's just the truth. And the media know this. The media knows this. The media knows that if it's not for the drama in this league, nobody's reading the stories, nobody's clicking the links, and nobody gives a shit. Regardless of the fact that the Indiana Fever are scoring 97 points per game and put up over 100 like 6 straight times. What, 6 of 7 or, yeah, 6 of 7? 6 straight and 7 of 8. Nobody cares because it's not interesting. I watched the Lynx Fever game. Thought it was a really well played game on one side. Defensively, it was an abomination. Defensively, that game was horrendous. Nobody guarded anybody. It was like watching Park LA Fitness rec ball. If you got blown by, go ahead, score the layup. I mean, if you go back and watch that game and go back and look at it, look at how many shots were actually contested looks that went in. I don't know the number, but I can tell you right now, I would believe that 75% of the buckets in that game were uncontested looks. And I would bet that a lot of the shots that got missed were uncontested looks because defense right now in the WNBA is not good. The Lynx give up 82 points per game. The Fever scored 100. They shot 57% against a team that gives up 82 points per game. Now the Fever, they've stunk defensively all season, so them giving up 100 and whatever, 108 points, whatever, no big deal. That's normal. They can't guard a parked car. But even with a game like that was watched by 2.5 million people, what clicks on ESPN.com, what clicks on podcasts, what people view is drama in this league. Drama sells in everything. But drama sells more in the WNBA than any other sport because we can watch the NBA and talk about the game and enjoy the conversation of the game. But in the WNBA, the game has to be attached with, oh, Kelsey Mitchell's better than Caitlin Clark. Oh, Caitlin Clark sucks. Oh, Kelsey Mitchell's being screwed. Oh, Stephanie White's terrible. Oh, Angel Reese didn't have the first black Barbie. Oh, she's pointing at the white girl on the ground. She's being teed up. Oh, it's got to be drama-filled. There has to be a racial component, a sexual component, some agenda-driven propaganda component. It can't just be, oh, we watched this game. Let's talk about this game. Here are some of the comments right here. She says right here, I'm going to let people just do the speaking for themselves, but for me, I want to get back to basketball. It's always been about basketball. That interview happened in March. I just want to make sure that the focus stays where it should be because people are playing at such a high level. Blah, 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 blah. And then she says, there's so much good going on WNBA right now. I think that basketball is being played at the highest level it's ever been. She also says, WNBA media, all we ever do is cover everything except basketball. And it's like, what are we doing? And she's right. That's all they talk about because that's all they believe that can sell this league. That's all they believe that can sell this coverage. You got WNBA teams legitimately traveling to other cities and their beat writers are on Zoom still. Why do you think that is? How would you ever see the Lakers beat writer interviewing the Lakers in Orlando via Zoom? No, they'll have their beat writers in Orlando. But in the WNBA, you still get lots of Zoom. Because newspapers, websites, all the like, they don't go to games because they know the cost is not worth it. If they're going to provide me the ability to cover the game via Zoom and be in the press conference via Zoom, well, guess what? I'll be there via Zoom. And I don't know how they pick and choose who they allow in the room anymore because I see a new website now out there that's out there that's in every press conference via Zoom and posts up every freaking press conference video and blase. And I'm like, well, when did they get this love? But hey, do what you do. She says here, I got a lot of negative feedback about me hating trans. And I'm like, I never once said that. I think that I'm here to extend love, but I also think that with truth, I also think that with that love is truth, being honest. And I want to protect young girls in the locker room or young girls in sport who shouldn't have to go against biological men. And that seems to have bothered people like Cheryl or even Natalie Nakase. And to the point where flipping Stephanie White says, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't have knowledge. I'll defer to people who know. Shut the freak up. There's not a woman in the WNBA who wants to compete against a man. I don't give a damn what they say publicly. They know they know very, very well that if they compete against a man, they'll get their asses kicked. They won't have jobs. And the product will become better. She got booed in Minnesota. She says, honestly, I think people that I'm freaking out or hate that. I love that. Honestly, I think people think I'm freaking out or hate that. I love it. This is sports. This is what rivalries and competitiveness are about. And so when other people come in and complain about environments, like, I love it. That's what sports is. And you know what it is. And you know, I'm here. I'm fine. So, yeah. Again, we can have dudes play girls, and y'all find out real fast. Fever coach Stephanie White, Minnesota coach Cheryl Reeve, Golden State coach Natalie shared opinions favoring more inclusive transgender athlete policy, particularly for younger athletes in recent days. Seattle Storm Center Stephanie Dolson were a trans right, blah, 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 crap. All that shit is shit, man. Because the day they're put to the task to have a dude play in the WNBA, they will change their minds. But there you have it. Sophie Cunningham ain't playing no game. She's not playing any games with y'all. She's told everybody she doesn't want to play against dudes. But you know, all these people, they say what they don't mean it. They know they don't mean it because the day it happens, they are all unemployed. But I'd love for them to test it. Bring on some dude like the one overseas that I've seen a whole bunch of videos on who look like a Goliath next to women. Let's see what happens when that guy's elbowing fucking Asia Wilson right in the grill. See what happens. How about we bring over some NBA dudes to put it on some wigs and say, we feel like females today. Freaking get out of here, man. But again, that's all they can talk about. So, if it ain't a Caitlin Clark game where she gets 2.5 million viewers, what's the average for the rest of the league? The product doesn't sell itself. Caitlin Clark sells itself. But the drama is what sells. And that's why the WNBA media continue the BS of asking the same question for 2 straight fucking weeks. Y'all leave y'all thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, hype button, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I appreciate y'all. As always, this is Indiana Fever Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.